Welcome back to Tech Coach Corner, a YouTube series presented by Dyknow. I'm Tiara Lustig. I will be your host today, and today we have a great episode with Matthew Ketchum, all about student choice boards. We talked about choice boards last week with Scott Nunes. This week we're diving a little bit deeper into specific examples and how you can actually create those with a few templates shared by Matthew. So really excited for today's episode. Before we jump in, just want to remind you all to please subscribe to Dyknow's YouTube channel, turn on notifications so that you're getting notified when we drop new episodes, and don't forget to check us out on social media. I think that's all the plugs I have today, so let's jump into the episode. Welcome back to Tech Coach Corner, everyone. I am Tiara Lustig, and today I am joined by Matthew Ketchum. Matthew, would you want to give a brief introduction to yourself before we get started?
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Matthew Ketchum, your neighborhood-friendly technology coach, soon to be Director of Educational Technology for our district starting July 1st.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Matthew, we've worked with you in the past on our Tackling Tech podcast, as well as for our 2020 technology coaching conference. You did a great presentation with Scott Nunes on PLNs and social media. Everyone can go check that out on our YouTube channel. But today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about student choice boards and Hyperdocs. I think one thing that's really come out of remote learning is that student autonomy and choice with learning. So could you talk a little bit about what student choice boards are, how you use them at your district, and maybe how they've shifted with remote learning?
Yeah, so especially with this distance learning, we went into it just recently where we didn't actually do any grading after quarter 3 once distance learning started. So then it started to get, how do we get students engaged in the learning content, the goals that the teacher still had for learning for the rest of the school year. And we created a professional development training around student choice boards for our teachers to learn more about this concept. But like you said, this concept, it's student interest, it's, what are students motivated, how do they want to learn, do they have some of that student choice in it, do they have that student agency, control of that learning goal on their own. And these are super important, especially with any blended learning, distance learning, virtual learning, even in the classroom. These are all important aspects of a really good instruction. Anytime you can get the interest and motivation from the student, there's really good learning that can happen with that. And so with a student choice board, there's a couple of different templates out there, and we can share them out here as well. And there's one that's like a tic-tac-toe board. So the student has to choose 3 items within those different squares, and they can go, vertical or horizontal or diagonal. And you can actually do quadrants of the tic-tac-toe board. So a certain quadrant are more of the creative type of, project-based learning. Maybe another quadrant, the other opposite corner, is more of the analyzing, researching, reviewing, writing type of aspects that you're getting into. But you can involve different learning modalities, different learning styles within these choice boards. Another one that I really like is called a menu style choice board. And most of these use Google Docs, Google Slides for the templates, and there's a lot of good resources we'll share that you can get to them. The menu style is really neat technique. In Google Slides, any text or graphic, you can make it link to a different slide within that same presentation. It's kind of hyperlinked to that other slide. So what you have is the main first slide is a menu of choices. The student clicks on it, it jumps to that exact slide with more of a description, maybe a model, maybe a sample, steps for what they need to do to create that choice, which is pretty neat. A couple other ones are 4 C's. So that's being mindful of those 21st century skills, communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking. And this type of choice board, you're being very mindful. There's 4 columns for each of those 4 C's, and you're giving 3 different ideas of what students could possibly do, and they can choose one from each column. So you're still giving them that choice, but you're hitting all the 4 C's within that learning goal. So the big thing is making sure that you have your objective, your what and why. You have, as a teacher, you have that learning goal. That's your purpose, but you're giving them some choices of how the student can show how they understand that content with these choice boards. Another really neat idea are called Hyperdocs. And Hyperdocs are really laid out to be the student explores, they explain, they apply, they share and reflect. And so these are really great for some of that independent work where students will be able to read or watch a video or look at certain content. They'll be able to have some questions to explain their understanding more. They'll have an apply section maybe to draft out a project. And then they actually create it. Maybe it's a video or a digital story, or maybe it's a poster that they're making. And then they get to have an opportunity to share that out with the whole class. So there can be also some peer feedback on it as well.
That's awesome. I think we had a conversation with Eric Geis a few weeks ago, and he talked a lot about student passion projects. And I think this kind of aligns with that a lot, where students, they're choosing criteria that will fulfill those learning goals and the subjects that they need to complete, but they're also able to add that choice in for what it is they're completing within those different disciplines, or choosing, projects that really pique their interest and speak to them. I think that's something really special that's really come out of remote learning and been emphasized, is keeping students engaged by using content and using disciplines that really apply to their interests, and making sure they're doing the work and they're being held accountable, but they're enjoying it and really being passionate about what they're learning. So I think student choice boards are an awesome way to do that. We'll definitely include all of those resources so people can see what you're talking about and create those for themselves if they're interested in doing that. Matthew, I know you have an awesome podcast. You are on social media. Will you tell everyone where they can find you if they want to engage and learn a little bit more about student choice boards?
Yeah, thank you. So we're the TNT EdTech Podcast. I co-host with my good friend Scott Nunes. You can find us at any podcast player of your choice. Also, we have a website. You can find us at tntedtech.com. Also on Twitter, we're at TNT EdTech. And I'm on Twitter. And you can follow me at Matt EdTech Coach.
Perfect. And we will put all of those below so that people can connect with you directly from this video. Thank you so much, Matthew, for being with us today. It's been great talking with you.
Thank you.